All right, so just to recap, I hope that you all have the chance to meet our director, along I know now because everyone is, not saying everyone, but quite a lot of classes have been online, and maybe that's a chance to meet our lecturers, and even not sure if you're aware that if you happen to meet our director, Dr. Goh, okay, do say hi, just give a shout out, because nowadays we really don't have chance to meet our students face to face. Then, of course, the course team. If you're not aware, I guess for the first semesters, for year 1 students, you do not have the opportunity, or maybe you might have known Mr. Low, okay, for biochem. Okay, but for the rest of us, you will see us in the coming October semester. That is where you'll be doing a lot of diploma core subjects. Okay, so this is again our academic team. One update, so Dr. Cynthia has left TP, and we have a new lecturer coming in, who is called Mr. James Lim. Okay, so his focus is more related to marine science and aquaculture. So for marine and aquaculture type of subjects, you will see him for, I think likely that he will be teaching year 2 subjects. All right, so of course, looks very young. I think he's one of the youngest lecturer here in our team. So yeah, do say hi, if you happen to see him on campus, and make him feel welcome. Okay, and not to forget our research team. So these researchers or scientists or research officers will also be part of the teaching team, particularly on your practicals. So you will see like Mr. Eldon, Mr. Glendon in the practicals to show you the skills. Okay, and of course, not to forget, Ms. Sakina is in charge of the overall operations in CAFs. So please really show your cooperation in terms of following lab safety guidelines. Things like the lab code, whether you have fulfilled the PPE requirements, all this. I will need feedback from Ms. Sakina. So make sure you all follow the rules, the lab rules, when you attend all the practicals. Across the veterinary team, when you come to year 2, and even for the coming October semesters, where you will be doing a lot of year 1 fundamental subjects on the veterinary care. That's when you will see some of Dr. Low. Okay, so Dr. Low will be one of the lecturer who will be teaching you on one of the subjects. Okay, so this is one of the updates. Not the latest update, but it has been quite recent on the industry outlook for our students, particularly on the veterinary industry. So as of September 2021, okay, just last month ago, we have up to 102 clinics, okay, veterinary clinics and hospital. So since about 20 years ago, it started only with 13, right? Now we have over 100. And it's going to increase. Okay, it's going to increase because of the increase of pet ownership in Singapore. So I'm not sure if you're aware of the trend. Nowadays, people don't like to have children now. Okay, they prefer to have pets. So there's a really increase of pets, and sometimes not even just one pet at a home. You could have a few different pets, different species, or you can have a few dogs under one pet owner. So there's an increased need for animal clinics. Okay, but not just animal clinics, but also people are willing to spend more on their pets. So they have pet spas, they have rehabilitation, and now people are looking into traditional medicine for animals. So there's definitely increasing demand, and also in a more diverse range of services that could provide for the animals. Okay, then also we have this, I'm not sure if you have read the news, a couple of years ago, there was this news about development of Mandai Ecotourism. So there's also a relocation of the Jurong Bird Park from Jurong to Mandai. So this is a massive movement. Okay, requires a lot of work, and it's going to expand. Okay, two more new wildlife parks. Okay, one is a new bird park, and also include a new rainforest park, and also a more nature theme of education center, and also they will include more public space for everyone to enjoy. So there's definitely an increased demand for in the field in the area of conservation as well as tourism. Okay, then we also have this increase of capability development for our local aquaculture industry. So as the expansion of captured fisheries is limited under the condition prevailing in Singapore, greater emphasis is actually being placed on the development of intensive aquaculture in both inland and also coastal waters, with the aim of supplying the food fish supply and reducing the reliance on the fish imports from other countries. So there will be definitely more emphasis for development of facilities and recruitment of trained personnel to conduct research geared towards achieving this self-sufficiency and independence in the supply of food fish. So if you have heard of the 30 by 30, what we call target, 30 by 30 target, where we want to achieve 30% of our own food supply, including seafood supply. Okay, 30%. So that's something that we need to really. The government is willing to invest a lot more on not just the infrastructure, but also for training of manpower. Okay, and that is why you will see that when you come into year 3, there's this elective about on aquaculture. So although it means aquaculture, but it also means the knowing more about marine species. So students who actually think that I want to learn more about other species of animal other than companion animals. So aquaculture elective is one of the options that you could consider when you go into year 3. Okay, I'll talk more about it later. So I will say overall, the outlook is definitely good. Okay, but of course there are also some other challenges. We'll probably go through later when doing the Q&A. Okay, the aquaculture architecture. So this so our diploma offers a broad-based curriculum. So we don't just focus on one species, but you can see we focus on different species, and it's not just on vet care. Okay, clinical practice, but also in aquaculture and research. So the core skills that each student must accomplish is to perform the basic pet care and husbandry, and learn the skills needed for vet tech, including reception, lab diagnostics, and surgical nursing and recovery care. Okay, so our graduates will then have the skills to acquire them to work as a competent vet tech in the vet clinics, hospital, as well as other like research institutions or even diagnostic labs, etc., etc. And those who have more interest in marine or aquatic species, they can progress to work as an aquarist or work at a commercial aquaculture or ornamental fish farm. All right. Yeah. So introduced in 2018, okay, so we offer this broad-based nature of TP Fund, where we want every students to acquire the key soft skills such as leadership, critical thinking, effective communication, and these traits are really important to excel in the new age workforce. Okay, and it's not prominent when you are in school, but it will be very prominent once you enter into the workforce. For example, as an intern. Okay, that is when you can really see that communication is so important, and it can actually, if it's not handled well, it could lead you to many unnecessary consequences lah. Okay. So it's always, we also hope that TP Fund can provide opportunities outside classroom, but because unfortunately, because of COVID, our study trips are affected, our overseas trips are affected. But nonetheless, we really hope that through this subject, you can able to learn some important soft skills that are transferable in different careers. And then So some of you are also asking the Q&A. I just roughly took a look that you're asking about what subjects are we doing. Okay, actually I was quite surprised to see this question because I thought that before you enroll to this diploma, you should have taken a look at our curriculum. Okay, to find out more about what this course will bring you to, what subjects are offered, what sort of training do we provide. Okay, so this is very important. Next time when you do your degree, make sure you go to their website and check what subjects that they offers and whether it interests you or not, and not until you go into the course then you think about what subjects they offer. Okay, so these are the subjects. So year 1, this is when you will strengthen your foundation core, as I mentioned. So when you in April semester, our year 1 students actually did a more basic biology like cell bio, microbio. These are very, very important fundamentals, including your chemistry and your and coming up will be your math. What I understand, okay, there's no guarantee, but what I understand for the past years, our students get advanced standing because of our foundation. Okay, so they got a year, depending on the university. Some got half a year, some got 1 year. But of course, there's no guarantee. And also depending on the grade that you receive. So some of them got the advanced standing not because of VeT subjects. It's because of these fundamental science subjects. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that it's very, very important that you build this foundation well. And then when you come to year 2, that is when you focus on diploma specialization, where you acquire the diploma specific concepts and skills. And we also try to help you to develop your collaborative and self-directed skills. So there's a lot of group projects, and there will be different modes of learning, for example, like role play, and also some skills-based training at the clinic in year 2. Okay, then in year 3, that is where you enhance your applied learning in the elective cluster, where you will apply the concepts and skills through project-based learning. So you will learn alongside with 2 masters. One is TP staff, and also your industry supervisor that is assigned to you for your internship and during your internship. So there are 2 elective clusters that's offered by the diploma in VET. So one is aquaculture and the other one is veterinary. So it doesn't mean that you can only just choose these 2. Okay, there are also other electives that you can choose from that's offered from other diplomas. Okay, so for more information, you can actually just go to our TP Applied Science website. Okay, all the 5 diplomas are all there. The informations are all there. And the elective clusters, subject synopsis are all there. So a lot of information is already provided in the website. You just have to go there and take a look. But I will just focus on our own 2 elective. Okay, so in the VET elective cluster, students will be taking the 2 subjects, animal reproduction development and animal science and tech. So the students will then have the opportunity, based on your allocation, these are the places that you will be allocated for your internship. Okay, so it's not just this, but also some private biotech companies that work with lab animals. Okay, so for VET students, usually majority of them will be attached at veterinary clinics, hospitals. So before the internship or before the semester start, usually maybe towards near to the year 2, they will have this pre-SIP option form or placement form that you can indicate your choice. Of course, it depends on the availability of the placement that you want. So usually, for example, the conservation park is always a very popular one. So many students actually opted for that. So how do we ensure fairness? Okay, so probably we'll just have to look at the portfolio and also whether to really show that you have the interest, then send you for interview. So the selection process will be both within the course, the TP itself, and also from the industry, from the supervisor, industry supervisor as well. So they will also select based on how you perform during the interview. So that is why, again, portfolios and how to do well in the interviews are also very important for your internship. Not just for looking for a job, but also for your internship, because nowadays companies are getting more and more selective. I have one student who was rejected 3 times for the internship. Okay, 3 times rejected, sent for interview 3 times, company rejected 3 times. Eventually, the 4th time succeeded. So I must tell you, really very important. You must really do well, okay. Learn to do, and for year 1 students, you still have time to build up. Okay, then so for students in aquaculture, of course, they will have the opportunity to interns at, for example, the aquarium, at the Resort World Sentosa, aquaculture and ornamental fish farm like Tianhu, and even like research facilities such as the marine aquaculture at St. John's Island. I'm not sure if anyone of you like the sea, so every day you have to travel by boat to not sampan I think it's boat okay, to this St. John Island. It takes a while to be there, but it's really a very nice place to work at in the island every day. Yeah, so it's a very good learning experience, I would say. Okay, so that's for our year 3. Okay, the resources so I like to go through some of the resources. They emphasize a bit on the resources available at TP. I know that some of you are asking about scholarship. Okay, so this is on the right side of the on my right side of the slide is the eligibility criteria for selection of scholarship. So usually for scholarships, right, we will nominate usually either the top 5 or top 10% in the cohort. Okay, so and usually maybe by the first semester, so you just got your first semesters, if you think that your results are quite good, right, you can actually apply for all year 1 students can apply through the TP student mobile app, TP Oil. Okay, after you release the information. Okay, so you just got your results, right? So for year 1 students, you can try to apply. So of course, the criteria is quite strict. Usually it's about, so for TP scholarship is top 5% of the whole cohort. So if I have 60, that will be only about 3 of you 3 of you which are able to, if I have about 60, 3 of you can, so it's really very competitive. But of course, other than TP scholarship, there are other scholarships that are sponsored by the industry. So that is when you come into year 2 and year 3. Okay, does it mean that I must have a top 5% to get a scholarship? Actually, to be honest, the answer is no. Okay, I have students, or I have a scholar whose CGPA is not so high. Okay, maybe about 3.7. Okay, but he has a very good portfolio. Yes, and what do I mean by that? He has good performance in CCA. He has shown good character and good leadership qualities. So other than good academic results, there are also other important criteria that we look at when we choose for scholars, or we actually nominate students for scholarship. And also, if for example, if there was one scholarship that's offered for the aquaculture sector, okay, from the aquaculture sector. So we actually looked through the students' profile, actually did some interviews with some of the students whom we think that he or she fits the criteria, such as good leadership, good conduct, etc. Then we also look through whether he or she has this passion in aquaculture. Then if it fits all the selection, then we will likely to nominate the candidate. Okay, so there are certain process in place, but what I want to say is that don't be too disheartened if you didn't manage to get a scholarship. I think more importantly is the process. I think building up a good portfolio within these 3 years is more important. Okay, because ultimately at the end, you want to get into as a Polytechnic graduate, you want to get a good job lah, that's able to fulfill your dreams. So that should be one of the goals lah. Okay, financial assistance is also very important. I like to remind. Actually, majority of our TP students are available for government bursaries, regardless, of course, depending on the amount. So I will really hope that take a look, check with your parents on the household financial situation. So the bursaries can range from 850 to over 2,750. So it's quite a lot, and it's really quite surprisingly, a lot of our students are able to get subsidized. So please go check. Do try to find out more, or you can just try to apply more, after you find out from your household financial situation. So again, the information is in the TP student portal. You can have a look. Okay, and this is also another thing that I like to share is about the support that is available at TP. Right, we have our SEN support in student support and career services, SSCS in short, that offers service and support for students either with special educational needs, also as providing ongoing emotional support for students in the transition or facing challenges. So I think especially for year ones, when you come from a different environment, and then there's a lot of changes going on, and then especially on this COVID situation where you seldom have the face-to-face interaction, this could be a bit quite overwhelming at times. So we have this student care team that comprises of qualified counsellors who are always ready to lend a listening ear to our students for their concerns and worries about their academic progress, and also how they adjust to the life in the Polytechnic. Other than that, you can also share with them your relationship or any family problems. Okay, so now because of COVID, the counselling and support services are moved online, but you can still make an appointment using this link on the website. So it will be placed through the counselling sessions will be placed through a MS Team video. So really advise you, if you need help, do reach out early. Don't feel shy or something like. Just go for it if you feel that there's a need. Of course, you are also strongly encouraged to contact your care person, okay, if you need any necessary accommodation. Okay, so ECG for short is a really effort that's aimed to equip students with the necessary information, skills, and values to make informed education and career decision. So through ECG, you're able to encourage to learn more about your own interests, ability, and passion. Okay, so you will benefit from more structured education and career guidance through several channels, such as in the CARE series. Okay, so that's CARE 1, CARE 2, and CARE 3, and I'll be teaching you CARE 1 and 3, offered for the coming semesters. And also through our industry mentorship program, IMM in short, when you come into year 2. And there is also an internship mentorship program in your year 3. So this will allow you to help you to make some informed decision on what to study or learn and which career might suit you best. Then of course, then we will be able to transit more smoothly into the career of your choice. So all polytechnics and ITs are all resourced with ECG counsellors, and in fact lecturers are also the first touch point for students. We have the basic ECG knowledge. So if you are curious about this, you can actually speak to me. Okay, because since I'll be your CARE 1 facilitator, and to see how to better help you to explore more about the different career options that are available. Okay, so I'll be sharing with you more in our first CARE subjects in a few weeks' time. Okay, next we move on to student development. Okay, some updates. So these are the couple of students development programs or activities that are available. Just want to highlight a few. This unique, we call it DXP for short, Differential Experiential Program. It's a unique program that allows students to dive further into related areas by initiating work through guided learning projects, and after that expand the scope for deeper learning in their final year major project. So the nature of these projects can be spanned across different disciplines within the science arena. So it doesn't necessarily that as a VET student I need to do VET related DXP program or projects. Doesn't mean it's a platform for you to be able to explore other interdisciplinary topics or area. So being part of this this what we call DRP-GL, then progress to MP continuum, then we can start off with this DRP program, which is a 90-hour program, okay, that during your semester break. So during this semester break, they will so emails will be sending out to you. The announcement will be made through our course team, or also through your email. Okay, that you send an invitation for you to enroll to this program, and then you will do this during your semester break to learn about new skills. And then year one students will then embark their DRP project of their choice, and after completion, right, you may want to consider to fulfill the subject requirement for GL, guided learning. So guided learning is a subject you do in year 2. So after you think that, with this, you finish your DRP, right? Then you think that, this is quite good. Actually, I wanted to explore further. I want to learn more in depth. Then you can actually use further explore this topic and do it as a guided learning. So guided learning is no grades. It's just a pass and fail. Okay, so it's something that you could think of lah. And actually, I would really encourage all of you to take guided learning because it really adds value to your portfolio. Okay. Then by year 3, if you want to hone further, right, you can then embark similarly on the project as part of the internship and MP program. Okay, so that's where we call the continuum from DRP, first year, then move towards guided learning, second year, and after that, if you think that something again interests you, you want to go deeper, and then that is when you do your major project in your year 3. So it's a progressive effort lah. It's a very structured and progressive effort. Okay, so now I move on to this interest group. I'm sure that every one of you are aware of this, our own diploma interest group, right? VET and Wildlife, VWC in short. So mainly the objective of this interest group is really develop close relationship within the VET community. And also for our juniors to learn from our seniors, such as how to manage stress, what things to look out for when you come to year 2 or year 3, and then also learn about how to organize community project or events, etc., etc. So there's a lot of sharing, information, and also partnering together, to in this 3 years journey. And I just want to, not sure if especially our year ones are aware of this YouTube series, because I also looked through your question and answer, questions, about asking about what sort of job opportunities are out there and what sort of jobs are our alumni doing lah. So this series actually is has actually shared quite a lot of useful information. It's called Dear Younger Me series. Okay, produced by our VWC. Okay, made out of I think I've got 10 interview clips with our alumni who is now pursuing their passion in various professions. So we have many professions. Could be ranging from hydrotherapy, research assistant, aquarist, even educator. If you have seen Mr. Oliver here, our own lecturer, you will see him year 1 students will see him in the October sem. Okay, so there's also VET. So some of you wants to be VET, right? So you can check. Go to the YouTube and see how it takes. Do I need to get a CGPA 4 to be a VET and things like that? So this is one of the questions that was asked. So yeah, so do check out the Dear Rangaring series. It takes a lot of time to prepare this, and really appreciate the interest group who've taken so much time to find time out of despite their heavy study load they find time to prepare this for our juniors and for our prospective students. Okay, so really do check out this series. So really hope that this will help our students to find their own passion. Okay, so some updates from VWC. We had a year 1 bonding day, so hope everyone had a chance to meet your classmates, your fellow classmates. Okay, so successful run coming for participants' feedback. So I assume that it's very positive feedback they received. So thank you all for, thank you the students and VWC for making this a successful event. Then also upcoming will be an interview series. Okay, interview meaning interns. Okay, so interns are currently doing or previously doing in their internship. That you can actually hear from them. Okay, what they are actually doing, what they are learning, and hopefully give you a perspective of what could be a possible option for you when you choose your internship placement. Of course, again, it's still subject to availability and also the selection process okay, doesn't guarantee you will get what you want. Okay, that's very important to know. Yeah, so do check it out and subscribe to TPVWC. Okay, and also our upcoming, there's also food waste composing project. Okay, collaborating with FNC students. Yeah, so this is also a very good initiative in terms of volunteering. So hope everyone had the chance to maybe just drop your studies for a while and do something that's interesting and yet also a good learning experience okay. So stay tuned. Okay, we will just follow our VWC Instagram. Okay, some updates is the Flex Week activities, which more information will be shared on the first week. That is on one of it is about white shark. Not white shark. I mean about shark. There will be a sharing virtual talk for students on the mystery of the shark in our ocean. So stay tuned. Then we also have this e-career TP opportunity fair coming up during Flex Week. So all students, all year 1 and year 2 students must attend this career opportunity fairs. We will share with you more information at a nearer date. So stay tuned. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, this is also other information I mentioned before in the earlier semester, April semester. If you haven't get your vaccination, please do so soon. Okay, then also your any existing medical condition, please let us know. Okay, we will keep it as confidential, so don't worry about that. Okay, please share with us you can let your CP knows if you have any existing medical condition, because this is a very important information when you are going out for internship, as well as your clinical attachment when you go into year 2. Okay, and also adhere school rules and guidelines at all times, so including the safety management measures. So in the coming semester, we are going to have more face-to-face. More students are coming back on campus. Okay, since all of you should have been vaccinated by now, right? Receive your second vaccination already. So all of you will be back to campus more often. And please observe the SMMs. So there are still safety ambassadors walking around taking photographs. And once your photographs sent to me, then I will. So what the process is? So the process is once your face is taken in the photograph, we will identify you. Then after that, you may be subjected to disciplinary action if you are found not to observe the SMM. Because there are many times we have reminded you, but if you do not hear the advice, then no choice, you have to learn the hard way. So please try to remind each other, your friends, okay, your classmates. When you wait for practicals outside the class, please stay 1 meter apart. Okay, leave the campus immediately after when there's no more face-to-face lesson. Again, point number 7, also very important. No upload of photos taken in practicals or internship. Just don't take any photos that's taken in the pracs. Okay, so there's recently again one case where they put some comment about using of certain equipment in the lab. Okay, although there's no live animals, although this photos is not taken from the lab, nor the internship, nor anywhere else, it's just extracted from somewhere else, but it could mislead. Okay, it could actually cause some misinterpretation of the photos, of what you really try to mean. So, in order to avoid this unnecessary, interpretation, or any consequences that could lead up to it, please don't. You must really think many times when you post the photos lah. Okay. So sometimes it's unintentional, but again, the community is very small, so bad things are usually shared very quickly lah. Okay, travel very quickly. So please be careful. Okay, that's all from me. Okay, so I will now go to questions and answer, right?
Alright, now let's us go into the Q&A session. If you have a question during the event, feel free to ask them anytime through the Pigeonhole. Questions that you have submitted before the event will be answered first before those submitted through Pigeonhole.
Now for questions relating to job scopes and career paths. So I believe Ms. Koh, you already answered the first question, and the subsequent question can be found on our YouTube channel as well. So let's move on to the third question. Compared to JC students, would it be more difficult for Poly students to get into and transition into university? Ms. Koh?
Okay, I would say compared to JC students, Poly students have an advantage because in the university, the modules are the course is conducted in modular mode, like what we are doing now. So that's how each semester there are several modules to complete. So then after eventually it then contribute to the overall CGPA. So the overall architecture, academic architecture is the same as the university. It's unlike JC where you have to work really hard throughout the 2 years, then you sit for a final exam. So that's very different. So I would say that, to be honest, other than the super kiasu JC student, our Poly students actually did quite well in universities because I'm not saying about theory side. Theory side, the JC students are very good. They can write a lot because they are good in writing. But in terms of practical skills, our students definitely have an advantage. Yeah. There was one comment feedback from one of your seniors, or that means alumni that ended up the student, I don't know how true okay, our graduate in the university have to teach the teaching assistant to perform certain experiment. Can you imagine how funny was that? So that means the teaching assistant is so-called like a teacher in the practicals. So usually the professors will get all the teaching, their teaching assistant, their PhD student or master students to help to teach the practicals. So the student, then there was one practical where the teaching assistant was not very good. Then our students, one of that student actually went up to provide assistance to the teaching assistant. So that's how good our students are. So sometimes, through internship, you can actually hone our skills. So I hope I have answered this question very well.
Thank you, Ms. Koh. Shall we move on to the next question?
Yep.
So how will the school curriculum in VET help students in their job, provided if it is VET related?
Okay, as I mentioned, our objective of this course is to train, focus on students who wish to be a technical competent vet nurse and technician. So I'm not saying that you to be a vet. So if you want to pursue in veterinary related supporting role, such as a vet tech or vet nurse, or even in some other jobs as a diagnostic in a diagnostic lab or other research based type of job, you have there should be enough sufficient foundation provided and training provided for you. But of course, to be able to be so-called competent in certain skills, practice makes perfect. So that is why we bring in the TP Animal Clinic. Okay, that's where our own TP Animal Clinic, where we provide opportunities for our students to have a chance to have more practice other than their practical class. So sometimes when we just teach you, so in the prep class, right, the lecturer demonstrate, then you probably have 1 or 2 times to practice, right? Then you do the practice. Okay, but maybe after a few months later, you might have forgotten how to do it. And how do you become better in terms of that particular skills? It's through practicing. And where do you practice? Where do you get the chance to practice? You can actually volunteer at our TP Animal Clinic. Okay, so I wouldn't say that what we offer you in the practicals are sufficient for you, okay, as a foundation. But in order to be better, to be fully competent, you must take opportunity to practice as often as you can. So some very good students, okay, and I definitely would like to encourage every one of you to do it, if this is what your passion is during your semester break, okay, look for jobs that's related to your field. Okay, so some of them took part-time job in a clinic. Okay, some of them took job. Okay, there was one of my students from my previous care group. He interned at a rehabilitation center, helping with a hydrotherapy for animals. Now he become a boss. Now he become a boss of a animal rehab clinic. Okay, so where did he learn these skills? Is how did he become an expert? It's because through practicing and practicing and practicing. And where do he find time? He don't waste any of the time. He work during the semester break and even term break. Okay, that is how he become an expert. Okay, so you have to take charge of your own learning. We can only provide you the basic foundation. Okay, but the extra time that you have, make full use of it. Yeah, that is also how you should think of to build up that portfolio. Okay, let's move on.
Thank you, Ms. Koh. The last question for this category is, does Singapore have a larger and better market for vets compared to overseas? And is it recommended to go overseas to work eventually?
Okay, I don't have a yes or no answer for this, but as I mentioned about our industry outlook, there is a trend of, because there's an increasing demand of veterinary professionals because of the increase of pet ownership. So there's definitely opportunities out there. But of course, one thing that with Singapore compared to the some other countries like Australia, UK or America is that we are still lacking that recognition of our para-professionals, meaning the non-vet support staff, the vet tech, the vet nurse, etc. Because there's no license, they do not require a license to perform all that. Whereas for Australians, like Australians, you need to register in order to be a professional vet tech or vet nurse. Similar like human nurses, but this has been, how to say, we have already identified these sort of issues, and actually the agencies and Singapore Vet Associations are looking into it to help to professionalize our vet techs and vet nurse. And if you can see that actually in the social media or in the media, there's been a rise of recognition in terms of the veterinary para-professional that's in the community, and there is definitely plans, okay, to move towards recognizing our vet techs and vet nurse. But of course, this takes time, and I seek your patience on that. So whether or not you should go overseas, depending on your preference. Okay, it really depends on your preference whether you will be comfortable to work in a foreign environment or not lah. Okay, it depends.
Thank you, Ms. Koh. We will now move on to our next category, which is others. So this is where questions you guys submitted did not fall under the previous categories and will be answered now. So I guess similar to the previous question, somebody asked, is studying abroad inevitable since Singapore currently does not offer any fully local veterinary degrees?
Add this information to you in the chat group. Okay, so in the chat group, right? Oh my goodness, why is it so dark? Sorry, I have to put in black. Okay, so in the chat group, actually, I've shared about so for applicants who wish to seek okay, yes, we all know that Singapore does not offer full locally lah, other than the NUS program. But there are also many other students. So many of our students actually who wants to study veterinary related will go overseas. And actually, for you should seek directly to the universities before making any decision in choosing of the course. So for the type of course that our vet tech students can apply, right? This is really not limited. You can actually click on the link. It actually shows what sort of universities that our vet tech students can enroll, right? In the major NUS, NTU, and SIT, the autonomous universities. Okay, and I would really advise you to try the autonomous, that means the local university first, okay, to study any degrees lah, other than the part-time one like MDIS or SIM or what's that called? I suddenly can't remember. So others, there's, I think there's a lot of others private institutions. Because usually what we find out is through surveys, right? Those from our autonomous universities, our local universities are able to have a higher pay compared to the private institutions. So if you are thinking of getting a degree, okay, please do check out or try to apply from the autonomous university first. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Koh. So one of our students also said that some teachers have said not to put too much hope into getting a veterinary degree and instead think about looking into other possibilities after poly. So do you agree with this?
I agree in some sense of keeping your options open, because this diploma doesn't just bring you to get a vet degree. That means some of the previous students were saying, Jill, I cannot enter vet school, I cannot become a vet. How? That's the end. How? Then they were very depressed and don't know what to do after this. So that's why I'm really glad that this opportunity, we have this sharing session to let you know more options that's going on, through the Instagram that VWC actually shared, internship placement, alumni sharing, that opens up more options for you to explore. So it doesn't mean that you can only get a vet degree out of this diploma, and doesn't mean that you have to be a vet or a vet tech after this diploma. There are many options out there. Okay, some of them, and of course there are some transferable skills as well. So although you are not doing maybe veterinary related, even for sales. Okay, so there are some working with sales on feed. Okay, feed. It's not veterinary related, but there's also need to know the nutritional values, how the nutrition is absorbed by an animal or by a human body. These are the basic sciences. Okay, it's equally important. So it's also something that you have learned in your year 1. So it's definitely applicable. So it may not be directly related to veterinary in future for the job in future, but there will likely be some transferable skills that you can use. Okay, so don't be disheartened if you can't be a vet or something. But before you get into that step, now if you're in year 1, try to talk to people. You can reach out. You have your seniors to reach out, and there are some career talks that we're going to organize. You can ask questions. What can I do with this diploma? Okay, it doesn't just limit within VETs or VET techs. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Koh. For applications on scholarship, I believe Ms. Koh already went through it at the start. So if you missed that part or miss any part of this session, you can just, we recorded this session, so you can just view it afterwards. So the next question would be, how do I improve my GPA if it is currently in the lower spectrum?
How do I improve your GPA? Study hard lah. Got tips or not? How do I improve if I'm... Yeah, definitely is... I have to find the right technique lah, I would say. You cannot just memorize by heart. Because some of the subjects needs a lot of understanding of concepts. So try to really plan your revision. Schedule your time. You have to be very organized and self-disciplined. I have heard many times of students requesting for extension of assignment deadline. Okay, I don't understand why, and I actually don't agree for lecturers to extend the deadline, because usually the assignment has been given out to you months ago. Okay, you should have plan it accordingly so that you can meet the deadline, rather than you wait till the last 2 weeks and you tell the lecturer, I cannot finish because I have this test, that test, although that this assignment has been shared with you many weeks before. So I think getting self-discipline and getting your time management is a very important soft skill. Not just for your schoolwork, but also when you go into work. You cannot just go to your boss and, boss, can you extend my deadline? Then I think your promotion hopes will be gone. So so just have to be, and you can actually find a learning buddy or a peer tutoring group. A group to study together if it helps. Okay, so of course you must find one that have relatively good results lah. Okay, then you can actually help you in terms of some queries that you have, etc. Then you can check. And of course, don't feel shy to check ask for consultation. Okay, and of course not 1 week before the test, please. All right. Your tutor needs to rest also. So so do seek out early. So if you think that this type of learning is not helpful for you, then try something else. I don't know, some of you do well in mind maps. I'm not sure if the cell bio helps you. In cell bio there was one assignment on mind maps. I hope this give you a good opportunity to practice that. Some of you write short notes. Okay. So it really depends.
Thank you, Ms. Koh. Our last question would be, what are the various educational pathways that students can take after graduating?
Various educational pathway can take. Wow, many leh. Recently I catch up with my alumni. Okay, some of them go design, some of them go IT. Some of them go business. They're all accepted in the degree program. some of them, majority of them, maybe for that cohort, quite a number of them went into SIT to study allied health. Okay, although it's not that related, but it's something still related. I would say, you see, it's something again related because it's still healthcare, it's still science related. It's just that the target becomes human instead of animals, But a lot of things are quite similar. So one become occupational, and then one speech therapies, and then some of them study psychology, also accepted, and got a scholarship for psychology. Okay. And quite a number of them also go into life sciences, general life sciences. So I would say majority of them would still prefer science. I think maybe this is their favorite subject. Yeah, majority will go to science, but they are also accepted in courses like IT, design and design from SUSS, and also I don't hear from engineering. I think there's one or two from engineering though. Yeah. So actually it's quite diverse I would say that it doesn't just limit you to be a vet tech or vet nurse, as I would say, or even to only veterinary degrees or bachelor's program. Yeah. So you can actually refer to the what's that called? The chat that I posted. Okay. You can still try if it doesn't fall in that category in the listed in there. You can still try out. Yeah, but don't feel shy to reach out to us. We can provide you more advice if you happen to be in a dilemma or deciding which course to apply.
Thank you so much, Ms. Koh. So that is all the questions that we have that were submitted before the event. So if there are any questions that you have that have not been answered yet, feel free to ask them in the Pigeonhole.
Or you can just shout out from you all can just switch on your mic and can ask openly .
Okay.
So.
Hi, can I join?
Yeah.
Question?
Mr. Tan.
I happen to just join. Okay, it's about just now you mentioned about the degree program, right? Degree program that many of the vet students and graduates can join. One more option is don't forget we can combine your technical competency with some business skills. So some of graduates, not just from vet tech, but from other of the science courses like biotech, even the pharmaceutical science. Right, they have combined their technical competency from a diploma and they take up a business development course, right? And then they get into some of the step up, for example, the Enterprise Singapore. Right? So these are the kind of opportunity you can have. Don't just think about focusing on one particular career track because you are still at a diploma level, right? So if let's say you think that you want to go into business development, then maybe you want to think about business management. Right? And at the same time, right, don't forget about your fundamental that you learned from ASC. So it will be a combine of both business skills and technical competency that will make you a much better professional.
I realized I have some staff joining me. Yeah, very nice. I thought I'm the only staff here. So sad. Dr. Clara just reminded me you could also explore our specialist diploma. Our works actually offers a work study program, which means you get some a sum of money after you finish the course. So it's actually a 1-year specialist diploma in veterinary wellness care. So if you're not considering to get a degree yet, actually, in fact, I don't really encourage you to rush to get a degree. Okay, there's always, I think finding the right degree is more important. So don't rush into it. So maybe during for example, now most students like to do a gap year or something before deciding what they pursue. You can actually do a specialist diploma. Okay, it's something that's relatively quite related. Actually, it's very related to our course of our graduate. So it's only in classes are conducted at night. And then most of them is online MS Teams, so it's very flexible. So it's also something you could explore.
So we have quite a lot of questions, 13 in total. So we'll start with the most top voted one. So the first one is, does not having a CCA heavily affect portfolio?
No, answer is no. Okay, other than CCA, there are many other opportunities that you can build for inside your portfolio. So include your other volunteering work, either organized by the school or inside within your course curriculum. So just now I mentioned about this GL, right? The DXP. Let me share my screen again. Okay, remember this guy, everyone? So this DXP DRP program, this is a very good chance for you to build up your portfolio. You don't have to do anything. You just have to sign up. Okay, sign up whatever that interests you. Just sign up one of them. Can be other discipline. Okay, doesn't have to be VET research. Then yeah, you can just it's just a 90-hour program. This is one of the chance to build up. Then subsequently, you can then do your GL, guided learning. This is also through a project-based learning. So ultimately you have a result of the outcome. So one of the students did a brochure on some pet care ownership or something. I don't remember the exact thing, but something related with pet care ownership. Then he actually shared with NParks, and NParks adopted as one of their brochure. And you see, something that you have done, and then you get recognized by an agency. So that's how you gain your recognition, and then subsequently you can add this to your portfolio. That it's a brochure that you designed was recognized by NParks. Okay, so that's GL. That's one of the things that you can actually think of your own. So for GL, you can actually think of your own topic that interests you, something that you want to do, and something that maybe it's good that ultimately the outcome might be something that's recognized by the industry. So it's really fits into the industry needs, something that what the industry is looking for, rather than ultimately when you get the result, then nobody interested. That would be quite a waste lah. Okay, then after that will be major project. So major project, how do you so some of the students able to present their major project in a conference or in a seminar, or they can submit through some competitions. Okay, so it's also another way to build up your portfolio. So you don't have to really think of what can I do, how do I plan for my to build up my portfolio. Actually, a lot of things have been planned by the school. You just have to participate. You just have to go, and then your interest group. We have so many activities going on. Okay, the recent one is going to be the food waste composting project. You can also volunteer yourself. This is also again build up your portfolio. Okay, and then seminars that we invite you. Okay. You can also attend this also. This shows that your attendance means that you show interest in certain things. So it doesn't mean that you need to win competitions or you want to create something of your own. It doesn't need. Right? So for you to consider, Okay. Next question.
Thank you, Ms. Koh. We'll move on to the next question. So we'll skip this because Ms. Koh explained it just now. The next question would be, what is considered a good GPA that we should maintain for internship and university?
I don't have the answer. What is a good GPA? And I don't feel that this answer is quite... it depends on what university you want to go. I got 2.5 also can go university. Is it considered good? So I think the aim of getting a GPA is not really whether you can go to a university or not. That is not ultimately your goal to get a university to get. I think ultimately you have to be. It's more important on your learning. Okay, how much you have learned. Okay, from what we have taught you, how much you have gained. How can you better apply your skills and knowledge in a workplace, in a workforce after you graduate? That is more important than getting a good CGPA. I've students with very, very good CGPA, but he or she was not very popular during her internship. So in the end, we have we have to really help her a bit during the internship placement. So again, grades are not everything. But of course, if you want to get a good grade, you have to make very considerable efforts because this course is not easy. It's definitely, we're not just, if I have done some consultation with you before you join this course, we don't just learn one species, we learn a couple of species. So it's not an easy course. You must be mentally prepared already before you join this course. All right. So I don't have a good number for you, but I think it's as long as you try your best. Again, managing your stress is equally important. Don't give yourself too much stress and don't compare yourself with others. Okay, some students are good in skills, but not so good in theory. Some, vice versa, very good in theory, but the skills hand-on, practical tests need a lot of practice before he or she can do it. Some of you are very hands-on. So everyone have different strength. So don't compare with one another. Don't compare with each other. You will have your own strength. And once you know your strength, just continue to do well with that strength. Okay?
Okay, thank you. So now the next question is, how often do VET graduates go on to become veterinarians?
How often do VET graduates go on to become veterinarians? The number it differs year by year because it depends on the financial status as well. Because you know that it's quite costly to be a veterinarian, right? So some of them, they come from a better family background. Of course, we have more students who do that. But roughly, I would say that roughly about 10%, or even sometimes range between 5 to 10% of our students actually become a veterinarian. Yeah, so it varies between different years. But again, it shouldn't be. It's not end of the world. You cannot be a vet, please. Okay.
The next question would be, is VET considered a specialist diploma or advanced diploma?
Is VET considered? I don't understand this question. You mean for this course or which one?
I think the person means whether being a VET would need a specialist or advanced diploma.
Being a VET considered no, you can become a VET after you graduate from this diploma. Okay, ultimately we are training you to be a competent VET or VET nurse. So you can be a VET after this diploma. You do not have to get a specialist diploma or advanced diploma to perform this role. But there are other specialization within each profession. So for example, like critical, emergency care, or even like dentistry. These are performing certain more skilled tasks, like for example, radiography or ultrasound. All these are more, like hospital is very specialized. So therefore, you might need a specialized certificate or specialized training if you want to be a more specialized VET. Okay, but generally, you can perform the task as a VET. You don't have to take additional diploma or what to be a VET.
Okay, so the next question is, from what we know, this course of study is relatively expensive, more so if we continue to university. Are there any other tips on the financial aspect of this?
Okay, again, I'm not very sure what this question really is, depending on the course that you want to study for degree So if you want to study VETs, of course, it's very, very expensive. And if you think that, okay, for veterinary, because we don't have it's not offered by local university, so you have to go overseas, yes. So this will be relatively more expensive. We are talking about overseas. So for financial aspect, I think what you could do is you can start working first. If your family finance or support is not sufficient, then I would advise you to work first for a few years, then save up, then and also think through, give yourself some time to think through whether this is really something that you want to pursue, all right, or you want to explore something else, so just don't rush into getting a degree lah. That is something that I want to emphasize. You really have to think through if this is because, like just now what Mr. Tan said, the diploma is a very general diploma, although it says VET, but it's still considered quite a general diploma, so you can still venture into other sorts of discipline, So after graduate, give yourself a year or two, save up, and think about, is this really what you want? And if you think that this is really what I want, after I talk to many people, and I actually enjoy what I work, okay, then go for it. There are also other financial assistance provided by loans provided by the banks, but of course there's depending on some criteria, so we have to check out with the banks for overseas education. Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Koh. The next question would be, what is the average CGPA of Year 2 VET students?
I don't know Seriously, I don't know What is the average? Is Dr. Clara here? I don't actually do this type of analysis I'm just usually more concerned of my students' well-being rather than checking what's the average score. I would say, let me just give maybe probably around 3 lah. We can say 3 to 3.5. Yeah, around that range. For year 2 lah. But of course, there are chances that you can either reduce or you get better lah. Because year 2 subjects are also quite difficult lah, because of your clinical attachment. Yeah, just a range lah. I think it's about 3 or 3. Between the 3, around 3 lah. Again, don't compare, okay? Don't need to compare. If you are worse, then just do your best.
So the next question is, are there any scholarships for pursuing a veterinary degree abroad?
Are there any scholarship? There's no scholarship offered by overseas university for now. Okay, so far there's no scholarship that I know of. Although there's scholarship offered by NParks, but that one is very, very competitive. So I don't even want you to think about that. So I would say actually for now there's no scholarship for vet to become a veterinarian. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question would be, how many positions are offered in the NUS program?
Okay, sorry, let me go back to that question. I have a case where one of the student alumni performed very well in the internship. Okay, and the internship company is willing to sponsor her to become a vet tech, to get a vet tech degree overseas. So it's a 1.5 year program because of advanced standing. So she managed to, of course, ultimately there's some things to fulfill. You sign a bond after she's back. Yeah, but because of her good internship performance, the clinic is willing to sponsor her to get a degree in vet tech. So that's also one of the opportunities given to our students. Okay, next. How many positions are offered in NUS? It varies. Sometimes, for what I know, currently it's 10. 10. Not many. It depends on each year. It changes over the year, every year. So the last time I heard was 10. Not many. Okay, is it possible to become a vet surgeon by pursuing a vet degree in uni despite having a vet? Is it possible to become a vet surgeon by pursuing a vet degree in uni? Okay, so this has got nothing with your diploma. So if you are a veterinarian, you definitely able to you have the license and you are certified. You have a license to provide to conduct surgery. Yeah, you need a license for that. So so that's why you need a recognized VET degree lah. If you want to do it locally, then you need to get a recognized VET degree overseas. Then you can perform as a vet surgeon or you can perform surgery on animals. Would a diploma be sufficient in ways we can improve our skills in the future when you put a diploma in be sufficient? In what ways? Okay, so there are many ways that you can improve your skills and knowledge. So generally, as a start, for a diploma, so if we just use an example in the clinic, okay. So if you're working in the clinic, and as I mentioned, you get to have a chance to expose to more hands-on experience. So, for example, not just in the surgery room, you're exposed to the reception, even to the, if you become better, you have the opportunity to help with the clinic management. Okay, all this will build up your experiences, and like I said earlier, there are also different specialties as a vet tech or vet nurse. So if you want to deepen your skills, right, you can go for there's a specialization courses that's online, okay, offered by overseas universities. Although we are hoping that we are able to conduct a few of the specialization specialized or courses in TP. We are working on that. But I know that currently there are existing, like for example, there was one about exotic pet care, exotic like reptiles and all that. So some of the clinics are very specialized. They have this, they are working with this species. So you want to have specialization on that, then you can get an additional certificate. I think it's an online course. They give you about 1.5 years to do it. And yeah, so I also think it's something that you can upskill, and you can also do the specialist vet wellness care. This is also another way to improve your upskill yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Ms. Koh, should we briefly answer the following questions because it's 3:30 now?
Okay. So since there's a lack of manpower, does it mean that I have the chance to get into the job scope even I do badly in course? Okay, this got nothing to do with grades, but rather how you perform during your interview and how you write your resume. Okay, if you can't even write your resume, it will just get removed from the first selection process. Okay, so first of all, you have to learn how to write a good resume. Then subsequently, if you get selected for an interview, how to perform a good interview before even they will look into. So it's got nothing to do with your grades. Of course, your grades can, it's not got a diploma should be fine, but not importantly, these two criteria, that means the resume interview, you must be able to do well. And of course, with a good attitude when you present yourself. Okay, so there's still a selection process. Not because I'm short of manpower, I can just take in anyone. No, that's not the case. There's still selection process. Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, we have now come to the end of this event. Thank you all for joining us today, and a special thank to Ms. Koh for answering the questions and making this town hall possible. Thank you to the staff that has joined us as well today. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ms. Koh, and thank you everybody.
Thank you, Tammy and Tina, for hosting.